Siddharth or Mayur, founder and managing director, H2E Power Systems Private Limited. Siddharth, you are the first startup in PLI for the electrolyzer segment. How is the product progressing? Because you are looking at April 2025 to launch the product.
We already have completed the setup of the plant, and we should start trial productions later this year. So by April 2025, I should be able to roll out the first commercial product on two electrolyzer technologies, which is solid oxide and AMSE. So not only that I was the first startup to win the PLI, we were the first Indian company to win under the Indian made technologies, and I was also the only company amongst whoever had bid who is bidding for two technologies. So we are bringing a bouquet of technologies which goes with the basic philosophy of our company, which says that we are a customer centric company, not a technology centered company. So I don't want to push a technology, I want to understand the customer and then provide the customer what their industry requirement is.
So there are three technologies on the electrolyzer plant. So which would be heading for a better market share going forward?
It's very difficult to say. I would think that the better question is that which industry will adopt which technology, because if you look at steel industry, for instance, they have a lot of process heat or they have carbon dioxide available in the exhaust. In areas like that, the solid oxide technology will have a much greater value. If you look at areas where you only need pure hydrogen and where you don't care about the space or the intermittency, then alkaline is a better technology. If you care about intermittency and space is an issue and a little more dynamic approach is required, you go for AMSC or PEM. So it all depends on geography, industry, the end requirement of the customer. So in my opinion, all of these three, so the alkaline family, which is alkaline, AEM and AMSC, PEM and solid oxide, all of them have a specific niche and each one will have a specific market which is running into billions of dollars.
You are also planning to set up a factory in Jalgaon. Would you talk about the factory?
Yes, we thought that we should go back to the roots. I belong to Jalgaon, that's my home city. And so we've developed a facility to manufacture electrolyzers as well as fuel cells. And the first product, like I said, will be out early next year from that manufacturing plant. It will be a state-of-the-art plant, first of its kind in the country, if I may dare to say. And I believe that amongst all of the PLI winners, we would be the first one to roll out the product as early as April 2025.
And what's the investment that you are making in this plant?
We are looking at a complete outlay of close to 300-350 crores that will go into setting up of the plant.
And when is the plant going to be operational?
The trial production starts Q1 of the next financial year already.
So, and you are also working on solutions which are related to microgrid. So what kind of solutions are on the R&D stage or the innovation stage in your company?
They actually are on an implementation stage now. We've done a lot of research work on that. We've developed a lot of concepts. We are working on three particular verticals here. One is the off-grid solutions, where we are looking at setting up stations to charge electric vehicles. So it is a project we jointly did with Indian Oil. We call it the Charge to Go project. So we are using the city's waste to power cities' vehicles, which means that it is a biogas based hybrid microgrid, which is a solar, fuel cell and battery hybrid, which is independently charging electric vehicles. Similarly, we are working on microgrids in areas like Leh or also in the islands that India owns, the Andaman or Lakshadweep islands. On another side, we are also working on blending of hydrogen with natural gas. That is a different kind of a microgrid. So that is a joint project we are doing with Oil India in Jorhat in Assam. So all of these projects, I would say, are out of the lab. They are on the ground. We are demonstrating them on a field trial basis. And by end of this year or early next year, we will do a commercial rollout for megawatt scale on these plants.
Siddharth, you have been working with the majority of the oil PSUs, and they are pretty happy with the work that you are doing. Would you talk about some of the projects that you are working with the oil PSU?
I think we are working with oil and as well as energy PSUs, whether it is NTPC, Indian Oil, Oil India, HPCL, or even BPCL for that matter. And some of the projects are in implementation stage, like we did the first solid oxide electrolyzer in the country, built in India, and that is getting commissioned at NTPC in the next 7 to 8 days. We did a microgrid for NTPC. We are doing a solid oxide electrolyzer project for HPCL. With Indian Oil, we are working on the Charge to Go project, like I said. With Oil India, we did the bus, which was inaugurated last year. No, the fuel cell bus, that was a different for Oil India. We are also doing some research activities with Oil India. We are developing LOHC, which is the future of hydrogen storage and transportation. So that is a very, very interesting project. Not many people talk about it, but it will create a fundamental shift in how you store and transport hydrogen. So Oil India has been very forward thinking in terms of looking at these projects. So they've signed up with us under the Startup India program on this.
So how are you managing being a startup? How are you managing all these big shot companies?
I don't think you need any management. The India of today that I am experiencing, all of these companies, and without any exception, you walk into anybody's office and they welcome you with open arms. They are helping you. They are more than willing to help. Just this morning, I had a small interaction with Director Projects, Oil India, and he was getting into nitty-gritties of LOHC and what more Oil India can do. How can we help? I mean, 10 years back, if you told somebody that Director Projects Oil India is walking in and talking to you, it was unheard of. So I think there is a tectonic shift, and that shift has come also with the way Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is steering this whole energy story in this country. So you can see the dynamism, you can see the willingness to help, and everyone, I mean, whether it is Indian Oil, NTPC, everybody.
You are also focusing on specialty hydrocarbon like SAF and methanol. So what are the projects that you are undertaking there?
We are currently working on developing the catalyst. So this is going to be the first time on an Indian level we are attempting the catalyst. It's a difficult story to do, and also making reactors locally. Of course, these technologies are available in the West. Germany is doing SAF, they are doing methanol, e-methanol, but using reactors developed indigenously, and we are making reactors which can help us do it on a distributed scale. So not necessary that you build a 1-ton plant or a 1,000-gallon plant. You can do smaller plants so that you can produce SAF at local airports. You can produce methanol, maybe even at the Leh base, where they can use methanol into fuel cells. So these are all forward-thinking areas where hydrogen is the base. But with hydrogen, we are trying to build these e-fuels which can solve a lot of pain points.
On the investment part, how sufficiently are you funded, and where do you see the company moving in 2024?
Well, as a startup, you are never sufficiently funded, because there are so many ideas, there are so many initiatives we want to take, and we are very happy that we have partners like the Poonawalla family, Mr. Adar Poonawalla, who has been very climate conscious, I would say, and invested with us. And we're definitely looking at strategic investments. We are looking at larger money to come in, and we want to invest this money into expanding our manufacturing base and also fine-tuning the solutions that we are building and putting them on the market.
You have a nice slogan, Swadeshi Urja Swavlambi Bharat. What make you explain the slogan?
Sir, this was 2009 I wrote this when I started this company, and that is the cornerstone or the basic foundation of what we believe in, that unless we have energy which is made in India, and energy again is the key to survival, we can never be a self-reliant nation. We are an independent country, but we are dependent on something which is basic for our necessity. And as the Honorable Prime Minister also says that by 2047, we will be an energy independent country. So it echoes the philosophy of Swadeshi Urja for a Swavlambi Bharat.